Yo, what is going on, guys? Got a wild story for you here today titled Loyal Husband Walks In on His Wife Cheating with His Own Sister. She was shocked when he divorced her. So, we see these stories all the time of the affairs where the wife is cheating with some dude, but this one, okay, not only is the wife cheating, she's having an affair, but she's doing it with her husband's sister, and then the dude walks in on the situation. It is absolutely crazy. Before we jump into this one, guys, don't forget to subscribe if you are new here. Drop a like and let's jump right into the nonsense. So after 6 years of marriage, a 33-year-old man walks in on the worst moment of his life. His wife and younger sister together in his home. Right? So I'm assuming as well, usually in these situations, the dude is the one who bought the house as well, or at the very least, he's paying the majority of the mortgage. So oftentimes, it's just the ultimate level of disrespect. He says, I'm a 33-year-old male and my now ex-wife, who's 31. We've been married for 6 years. We've had no kids. We were just about to start trying to have kids. We were stable, comfortable, and I genuinely believed that she was my partner for life. My sister, who's 27, had always been the free-spirited type. She bounced between apartments, jobs, and relationships. I was always there when she needed help. She was family. I didn't ask questions. Maybe I should have. Guys, am I the only one who thinks, by the way, right? If you've got a family member who, quite frankly, makes terrible life decisions, is always bouncing around to different dudes and stuff like that, this guy is always here when she needs help. Maybe the help she needs is a bit of tough love and for you to tell her that she's a bit of an idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh yeah, I was always supportive and I was always there for my sibling who was making terrible life decisions. Maybe the type of support these people need is for you to put your foot down and say, hey, this is unacceptable. She's bouncing between apartments, she's bouncing between jobs, she's bouncing between relationships. This person to me seems incredibly unstable, guys. She can't keep any of these three things for any length of time, it seems. Right? This is a bad sign. A few months ago, his wife, Natalie, suggested that his sister come and stay with us again. So his sister come and stay with us again until she got back on her feet. It didn't seem unusual. My sister had crashed with us before, and Natalie always got along with her, but something was different. They spent time together more than usual. I'd come home and they'd be deep in conversation, laughing in the kitchen or curled up watching shows. They'd stop talking when I entered, and my gut whispered that something was off, but my brain told me I was being paranoid until the day I found out that I wasn't paranoid. Again, guys, I always have to mention, if you're a dude and you have a gut feeling like this, it is way better off that you listen to it, okay? And if you're wrong, all it's going to cost you is you saying, my bad, okay? And if your wife gets super defensive, super aggressive and things like that because you look into your gut feeling, I mean, these people who get super defensive and mad about dudes, trusting their intuition, wanting to learn a little bit more if they're concerned, they're always up to no good. Like if you're a guy and you're like, hey, I'm not comfortable with this, what's happening here? And then the person gets pissed off with you. I think it's a pretty good indicator that you had the right to be concerned in the first place, personally. He says, I came home early one Friday afternoon. I'd wrapped up work early and figured I would surprise her with lunch, the wife, that is. I even bought her favorite sandwich from the deli. I pulled into the driveway. There were no cars there, so I assumed they'd gone out, but the door was unlocked. As soon as I stepped inside, I heard it, faint giggling from the guest room. So I walked down the hall, he says, not trying to be sneaky, I was just curious. Then I opened the door and there they were, my wife and my sister in bed together. He says, I just stood there frozen, bag of food still in my hand. I think one of them screamed. My wife tried to cover up. My sister jumped out of bed and started stammering some excuse. I didn't say a word. I turned around and walked out. I think that's probably the correct thing to do. Just immediately leave, okay? The only thing you're going to be told in a situation like this is, they're just going to spew absolute nonsense at you. They'll either get mad or they'll say that it's not what it looks like or whatever. Nothing you really want to hear, okay? The only thing you probably want to hear is some silence while you calm down and then, your phone ringing as you call the lawyer, okay? That's about it. I think this dude made the correct decision to just leave immediately. I wish a lot of guys would just leave immediately, to be honest. They have no business being in these situations, right? Because it's not going to benefit you as the dude to stick around at all. But guys, before we jump into today's story, just a quick reminder that I have set up a second channel where I will be recording daily videos or thereabouts once again of women over on TikTok. I know a lot of you guys enjoy this video style, but to be honest, it's very headache inducing to make. So I will be making one video a day roughly over on the second channel. If that interests you guys, make sure you go and check out the second channel. I'm going to leave the link in the video description. He says, I didn't go back inside for hours. I sat in my car, stared out at the road, and tried to piece together what had just happened. Me personally, I would have left the premises immediately. Left the premises, tell them to get out. If they're still there when I return, we're going to have some serious issues. He says, my hands were shaking, my heart was racing, but more than anything, I just felt hollow. When I finally went back in, they were sitting at the kitchen table like scolded kids. My wife started crying the moment I looked at her. She says, I didn't mean for it to happen. We were just intoxicated at first. I didn't know how to tell you. And my sister didn't say anything. She just looked down, and I didn't want to hear another word. I told Natalie she had 1 week to move out, and I filed for divorce Monday. Holy hell. So the first weekday, I'm assuming, you know, lawyers probably would have been closed for business on the weekends, I assume. But he gave her 1 week to move out and then filed immediately the next business day. I think that's fantastic personally. Hey, maybe he could have tried to get a hold of a lawyer on the weekend. Maybe that was the move. Maybe he just couldn't for whatever reason. But I'm glad that this dude did this crap immediately. I'm always so happy when I read the stories and the dudes don't beat around the bush, right? They don't try and make it work. They don't buy the woman's nonsense of wanting to go to therapy or trying to make things better, because things are not going to get better. You know, I don't like being the overly negative dude about these situations, guys, but the situations are not going to get better, and that's just the reality of it. Okay, so it's always good to see when the dudes immediately, they dip out of the situation because they realize it's untenable, and they file for divorce immediately. It's a good move. He says, my wife didn't believe that I was serious. She thought that I would forgive her, that I would eventually understand. She begged, she tried to turn the blame on me, told me I wasn't present enough, that I never noticed her needs. Get the hell out of here, man. What is this low-level gaslighting, by the way? Trying to blame the dude. He says, I didn't care. There's no recovery from this kind of betrayal, not when it's your partner and your blood. My sister sent a long message a few days later claiming it was Natalie who initiated everything, that she felt pressured, so I blocked her. Good move again. This dude's making all the correct moves. My parents were horrified when I told them. They tried to get the full story, but I kept it simple and showed them the evidence I had. They haven't spoken to my sister since. So this sister essentially got kicked out of the family as well. I think that's totally appropriate. You know, you'll have all of these people, guys, who are like, oh, but they're family. You can't kick them out of your life. Oh, you absolutely can. No, absolutely. Those people always confuse me, guys. You know, oh, you just have to always be supportive of your family. You've always got to stick together. And it's like, no. Sorry, that's not how it works. The system made the decision to completely screw everything up. Okay, I don't hold it against the guy whatsoever for saying, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I don't hold it against men in general for walking away from these situations. I think it's the right thing to do. But yeah, the parents even ditched her. Fantastic. I find that to be so funny. So he says, I live in a quiet apartment now just outside of the city. It is small, but it's peaceful. I go to the gym more. I see a therapist once a week. I've learned not to bottle things up. It's been 7 months. The divorce went through quickly. I never looked back, and as far as I know, they're not even in contact anymore. They set fire to everything, and they expect me to solve all of the problems, right? This dude handled it fantastically. He divorced the woman immediately, got rid of the sister, told the parents, moved outside of the city, hit the gym. I mean, all in all, I would consider that, you know, a pretty good move by the guy. He didn't mention losing any assets, so I'm kind of hoping that he kept the house. I feel like he would mention if he lost the house. So, you know, I'm going to chalk that up to a win and assume that he kept it. At least I hope that he did. But he made the right decision. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. Make sure you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next episode. Peace.